Hey, family. Today I want to talk about how to overcome depression. Okay. Since I deal with things holistically, I'm going to talk about the full spectrum physically, spiritually, mentally. Okay. So let's just start with the physical aspects of it. Okay. First of all, depression stores in the brain. Okay. So if your brain is dehydrated, 9 times out of 10, you're going to feel depressed. So what that means is you have to drink tons and tons, not tons of water, but just drink a lot of water. I would say a gallon a day, at least, to kind of hydrate your brain so you will feel more balanced. Okay. Second thing I would say is to clean your colon. And the reason why I say this is because it's not so what's inside of your head affects what you eat, affects what's inside of your head, affects your brain. You are what you eat. So basically what that means is let's say for instance, right? This is the way it happens. The way trauma and different things happens is, let's say as a child you experience some type of abuse from your parent being abused. Okay, that stores in your colon. It's like after you see this, what happens is you eat something, and after you eat it, it never digests because you can't digest the situation. Okay, you know it doesn't make sense, so you can't digest it. So what happens is it stays in your colon. And what happens when it stays in your colon, it's just covered over by more and more food and never digests. So I would say take a colon cleanse with the intent that, okay, whatever trauma happened, I want to alleviate from my system. Okay, take a colon cleanse with the intent and allow it to happen. Okay, digest the situation and remove it out of your system. Okay, and going back to the brain again, hydrate it with lots of water. And another thing you do is take a lot of vitamin B12. Now, vitamin B12, you can take it in the form of what they got as far as, let's say, as far as plant-based, I would say nutritional yeast. Now, nutritional yeast comes from the root of it is molasses. Okay, so you take nutritional yeast, drink lots of water, eat lots of salads, light foods, all light foods, because you want your mind to be light. You don't want it to be heavy. So you eat light foods. Okay. So let's get to the spiritual aspect of this. Okay. First of all, you want to get a lot of sunlight. Okay? Because that vitamin D helps the serotonin. The serotonin helps the melanin while you sleep, where you have good dreams, different things, this and that. So get a lot of vitamin D directly from sunlight. Okay. Also, let's say if you don't have a sun, let's say you live in Seattle, a place like this, right? Not a lot of sunlight. What you do is light a candle. Now, the candle is the closest thing on earth that's closest to the sun because it's dealing with the flame. It's a natural phenomena that's dealing. It's like bringing the sun down to earth. So what you do is you light candles all around you and just into the candle. And what you say is you say, I want to burn away all traumas and experiences that I have had. I want to put it in the flame, just like you would do the sun. You can do the same thing with the sun. If you're going to do it that way, I recommend doing it at either sunset or sunrise and ground yourself. Now, getting to grounding, this is another way to release depression, is by planting your feet on the ground and saying again, I want to release all traumas and all different things that I've experienced, different ways, different things as far as depression. I want to release it into the earth. So you visualize when you inhale, when you exhale out the soles of your feet. This is why they call it the sole of your feet, because it's dealing with your soul. You're releasing things out of your spirit, your space. So release it out of your soles of your feet when you exhale into the planet, to the earth. Okay. Now, what happens with depression is it's like a loop that's keep saying the same thing over and over based on the past. So it may say, well, you're not good enough. Or let's say you want to do something that you really want to do, you haven't done yet. You say, well, remember what happened before? They didn't accept it. It didn't work. It didn't work. So what you got to do is you have to recognize, you have to say, well, since the creator is omnipotent, universal, everywhere, there's no limits, why is this thing keep relooping something from the past if it's over with? So you have to ask the question, who is speaking? Just ask the question when you hear these thoughts to say you're not good enough, this didn't happen, it's not going to work, no one's listening to you, no one understands you. Ask who is speaking. I guarantee you that the voice going to get very silent, because it's not what you think it is. It's a program from the past that wants to keep itself alive using your body as a battery. Okay? So understand that you are beyond the past. You are beyond the future. You are beyond the now. You are one with the Most High. You are love itself. You are beautiful. You are regal. You are all these things of wonder. Okay? This is what made you so beautiful when you was a child, because your imagination, you understood who you were. And you lived in your imagination, your creativity. Okay. Another method of what you can do is, when you hear this sound again, this loop that's in your head, that's actually in both though. It's in your head and it's in your colon. Once you clean the colon, those voices will get more fainter, and it will start to dissipate. Okay. The more you do it, it's like working out, the better it gets. Okay, but instead of building, they dissipate. Then they just eventually evaporate eventually. The more you ignore them, okay? They will get lighter and lighter. And now they're screaming, you are not welcome here. No one understands you. This and that. You're not good enough. The more you cleanse, the more you look into the sun, candles, it goes from you're not doing, then it goes to you're not good enough. They're not listening. They don't understand you. The more you cleanse, then it goes, they're not listening. They don't understand. So it's like turning the volume down. That's what you do. Okay. So another method is, when you hear these voices, is tangible way is write it down on a piece of paper. Write down what it's saying. No one's listening to you. You're not good enough. You're not liked enough, right? Social media, you're not liked enough. So what you do is you write it down on a piece of paper. Put a brown X through it. What brown does, it grounds it. It's like put it underneath of your feet. Okay, so you could put a brown X through the very comment that is giving, suggestion is giving to you. And also what you can do is, you can write it on a piece of paper, and you can actually, with your third eye, send a purple flame on that piece of paper. And let's say you don't have a piece of paper, you didn't write it down. I said paper because it's more tangible, you can see it. But let's say the thought comes in your head, you're not good enough, you're not welcome, you're not, no one hears you, no one cares, no one loves you. Soon as you hear that voice, send a flame toward it. Or put a brown X to it in the ethers. Okay? Use your spiritual eye and do that. Okay? And watch what happens. That actually, when you see, you could see thoughts. Okay? You could see them. The more you start practicing and opening up, you can start seeing your thoughts. So put a brown X to it or a purple flame to neutralize it and ground it. You also go say, send the thought back to where it came from. It does not serve me any longer. Okay? Kind of tongue-tied today. Another thing you can do is look at lots and lots of comedy. Okay? Laugh, 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 laugh. You can't laugh enough. Okay? Lots of comedy, just laugh more, just get yourself in that joyous spirit, okay? Joy is a precursor to abundance, so the more you laugh, the more abundant you'll feel, and the more you will be abundant in all ways of life, okay? Another thing is take a break from social media. Now, when you take a break from social media, what happens is it's kind of like you have to shut things down. When you shut things down, that's when your true self opens up on your true self comes online. Okay, so it's like with the social media. I know about the dopamine. It's like when you get a like, it sends it's like a sensor to your brain, and you feel good. It's like a drug. Okay, but instead of focusing so much on the brain, focus on the heart, because that's where everything goes to. When you leave this planet, it's going to be based on your heart and how you feel. It's not going to be based on what you're thinking. It's not going to be based on your brain. It's not going to be based on any of these things, okay? So when I say your heart, when I get back to your heart, your creativity is in your heart, okay? So follow your heart, and the more your creativity will open up, the more things will happen that's more natural, rather than someone saying, I like what you did, or you're beautiful, or whatever they're saying. When you follow your heart and you tap into your creativity, okay, you feel good about yourself. Even if you paint a picture, you crochet, whatever you're doing, you like what you did. Doesn't matter what anyone says. So use your creativity, okay? And another thing I would say is surround yourself with more lively plants, okay? Different plants, especially when you're dealing with technology. I would deal more with what is it called? The succulent plants, okay? Because they take the radiation and everything out of the airwaves, and also to get a radiation in your system, eat some seaweed or take some kelp, dulce, whatever, to neutralize that part of you, okay? Because this is dealing with more technology. We have to unplug, okay? You know, like in the movie The Matrix, they said you have to, what's going on, Neo? It's like you have to unplug, man. It seems like you need some R&R. That's what's happening with a lot of people. And I'm sitting down with a lot of, especially young people, that are depressed, and they don't know where to go, which way to go. They're depressed. They don't know what it is. But I'm telling you what it is. This technology, you have to neutralize it, okay? When everything shuts down, your spirit rises up. You tap into your imagination. You tap into your true power. So I would recommend also a day of just shutting everything down. Light some candles. Don't even turn on the lights. Just light some candles and you watch how you feel. Okay? So I just wanted to drop this short video on depression and different ways of coping with it. Okay? We have to return back to Mother Nature. She is our best friend. She is the ancient technology. She's the one who will take you home. She's the one who will guide you to your heart, what your heart is feeling, rather than what the brain is feeling. And understand both work together, okay? The more you take care of your temple, the more this temple will open up, and you will attract students to come to you to learn. You'll be a shining example, okay? So I just want to drop this short video and say, be well, be more balanced. Understand this is a time also of, this is the winter time. So this is a time of kind of like reflecting your life, hibernation. It's kind of a time where you just, you're moving forward, okay? So it's like you're regrouping, you're sitting back, you're thinking about your life. You're trying to figure out what's going on, why is things happening, okay? So this is like a time of reflection, okay? This is a time of learning, because now you're not really distracted by a lot. I mean, you can still run around, but it's still more of like hibernation time, like the bears, okay? So now it's just time to reflect back so you can spring forward and improve who you are and who you were meant to be. Okay, family, y'all have a good one. Peace.